Hi, my name is Jennifer Street. I am the founder of Reimagine Studio. I am a registered nurse of 28 years, a intuitive, an empath, and a spiritual and energetic catalyst. So I help people with my own energy field. I help to ground and center people. Then I help to open up your heart space so you can feel things that you may not have felt before, so you can experience life in a way that's more expansive. A lot of people are walking around with closed off heart spaces. They're disconnected from their heart. And I personally believe that living open hearted is one of the keys to abundance, peace, joy, gratitude, feeling like you have enough and that you are enough. So, as I was having coffee this morning, I was brought back to a memory almost 9 years ago when I had given up alcohol after a lifetime of drinking. And I was on the phone with a friend, and her and I used to have a lot of good times together, drinking alcohol, going to concerts, going to parties, laying by the creek in the sun. We grew up together, and I had just stopped drinking, and I said to her how afraid I was. And she's like, "What are you afraid of?" And I said, "Everything." Now, to somebody, that might be like, "What do you mean? Like, what does that even mean? Everything." That's what I'm here to share. People that are drinking or using drugs, that are using them as coping skills, not, social, have a drink or two. I'm talking addiction. People that are using these things, there's a lot more going on underneath the surface. And I'm here to dispel some myths and really explain to people what is going on. If you're judging people that are drinking and that are drug addicts, stop it. These people are human. They deserve dignity like everybody else. I have a background in addictions and a background in behavioral health. And I have worked with people that haven't showered in a week when they come in. I have worked with people who live under bridges and literally the only thing they own are the clothes on their back. And I want you to know, seeing another human in that condition should not bring judgment to you. It should bring compassion, empathy, love. You see, it's a cry. It's a cry for help. And oftentimes these people aren't even treated like humans. I've had so many people say to me, "Thank you for being kind to me." So this is my reflection on when I said I'm afraid of everything. What was really going on for me? What was underneath the surface of that? Because as I was drinking my coffee this morning, I was like, what was I afraid of? And I took a little inventory because this is part of my work. Telling people the truth, showing people the truth, showing people empathy and compassion for their fellow humans, community. So when I said I was afraid, what was I afraid of? Who am I? Who am I when I quit drinking? Will I be socially disconnected? That was my tribe. And guess what? When I walked away from it, I had no friends. None. A few other reasons why I was so afraid. I was afraid of losing my personality. That was my edge, life of the party. I was afraid of boredom. What am I going to do to fill my time? I had extreme fear of feeling everything. I understand myself better and recognize that I was feeling things so deeply, and that's probably why I started drinking in the first place. I was feeling things that weren't even mine. I feel things that aren't mine. I will have sudden waves of emotions that aren't even mine. I know how to recognize it now. But, years and years ago, I didn't know what that was. Also, another big one for me was being fully seen. Who am I without the mask of alcohol? It was almost like when I drank, I could actually be myself. So if you're looking at people and you're just like, why can't that person quit drinking? Why can't that person that's, doing drugs or whatever? If you're over there judging and you're like, what? Like, it's so much more nuanced than just a habit. Like there are, massive identity issues going on. Fear, just so much fear. And let me tell you, I am the most fearless individual you will meet now. I am afraid of nothing. I am not afraid of illness. I am not afraid of cancer. I am not afraid of people leaving me. I am not afraid of anything. Complete 180 and 9 years of work. So some of the things that I did, just a rough outline of how did I become who I am. Well, I created safety within myself rather than externally looking for safety. I had to create internal safety within myself. I had to rebuild my identity, and I've done a lot of different things to do that. And people can do that through so many different ways. You can join a church, you can become a member of a book club, you can start to work out. Like, there's so many aspects to who we are as people. And if you go into one type of setting, or let's say a little ecosystem, and you're like, oh, this isn't working for me, that's fine. That doesn't say anything about you. It just says this may not be who I really am. I allowed myself to receive connection. When people wanted to love me, I started to drop my defenses, and yeah, you can help me. You can love me. Another thing is just allowing joy to enter your life, allowing yourself to have fun. You don't have to be in victim mentality all the time. Well, actually, healing victim mentality should be the ultimate goal, but I understand that it takes time. And learning how to regulate your emotions without numbing is huge. Those are just a few things that come to my mind When I think back to that conversation with my friend, that friend is no longer with me, and she can't see who I've become, at least on this plane. I want people to know that if you are struggling, I can help you. I have that gift of seeing people clearly and deeply. And that alone is life-changing, because I don't know how many times I have talked to people and I've expressed ideas and I've shown them perspective shifting, how to reclaim their power in just one conversation, and you can see the light coming back into them. You can see the light bulbs coming on and just the pure excitement of, oh my gosh, I don't have to live this way. And you don't. The brain or your thoughts or beliefs is a powerful, powerful tool. And I want to help you optimize that. That's all I have for you today. I love you. And until next time.